हाँ एकदम
लाइक चलो
हाय
भाई
hello and welcome to this live T-match show of the third T20I between India and Sri Lanka. This match will be played in Rajkot with the series 1-1. It is a decider. Both of the matches have been absolute nail biters, high scoring matches. And in Rajkot, we are expecting yet another high scoring affair. Your thoughts on the match, Bhuriya?
Before that, you tell me why is this man here? He will go to Dubai. He will go to Australia. He will go to Bangladesh. But when it is in India, he will be here. Why? He should have traveled to Rajkot.
Answer this.
Had I been to Rajkot, then who would have briefed that selection committee, the updates and all?
Clever man.
Basically, the deal is if it's international, I will go. That is the deal.
Big shot, man. Big shot.
Superstar. Yesterday, I can tell you this. He's the most traveled Indian journalist in the last 10 years. How many tours have you done? Have you counted?
Not yet.
See? And every day you will see a new camp.
New camp of every season.
This one I have borrowed it from Bhuriya.
But he does that. Anyway, you asked a question.
Yes.
Boss, if you lose a series to Sri Lanka, you can't do that. Let's face it, experimentation and all is fine.
Right.
I mean, people like young Turks, etc. Who is young? I mean, these fellows have all been playing good enough amount of domestic cricket, except maybe an Arshdeep Singh or an Umran. The rest of the batting order, if you see, Shubman Gill has now been around for a decent amount of time. If you see the rest of the batters, you would say Rahul Tripathi, but Rahul Tripathi has also played a reasonable amount of IPL, a lot of IPL. And then, when it is a you need to win. I mean, you need to beat
And what more if India goes on to lose the series today?
For Hardik Pandya, it will be a disastrous start.
Series we have won at a trot. Last time we lost a series was in 2019. Can you imagine 3 years after 3 years, we would be losing a series
Against Sri Lanka.
That too against Sri Lanka.
At home. That is going to be one cracker jack of a contest. But in Rajkot, it has always been a high scoring ground. In 4 T20Is played here, two teams who have batted first have won the match. The rest, the fielding team have won it. So, what is the equation like? Should India, the toss is coming up. So, what should
It's a belter of a track. It's a belter of a track. Rajkot track has always produced a huge lot of runs. So, I would expect that we are going to see another big high score.
Oh, Joyita is also there. What a pleasant surprise, Joyita. Welcome.
We didn't think you will join. We thought you will join us post-match. What a pleasant surprise. So you see, Joyita thinks so much. And he's in Lucknow. That's why that woolen jumper.
Freezing.
2 degree, 3 degree out
Bhai,
there.
kebab khao, bhai. Kebab khao. Body garam ho jaye. Look at Mama. Have some kebabs. What are you doing?
Mama
or not?
Mama is
Before you start, India have won the toss and have opted to bat first.
Thoughts?
yeah. I think the bowling has come under pressure, so I think they want to put up a huge total. I also feel that see, it's a new team. We're gonna have to give it some time. The fast bowling attack is new. Okay, we know people like Umran Malik and all. Okay, 150 everything, but they all need a bit of time to just get going. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, when he first came, Bumrah, Bodia has got a memory of an elephant, so does Mama. They will remember when Bumrah first came. He wasn't this Bumrah. Everything takes a bit of time to bind. So, and right now our only problem is that all our three are new. Even for that matter, Arshdeep is also 10 games old, 12 games old? He's not 50 games old. So that is the reason why this fast bowling attack, everybody is getting very, very, keyed up about how bad we are with the ball. But these are new boys. They're going to take some time.
So, Mama, thoughts on the no balls?
7 no balls.
Obviously, I was going through an interview that Arshdeep's coach had given to a leading newspaper. What he said was that focus on the steps, the run-ups, instead of focusing on the delivery. Just focus on the run-up, because I think first of all, he was not announced practice. That was one of the prime reason. And the second thing was he was thinking too much ahead. Just be relaxed and focus on the run-up. Because if you notice that every fast bowlers they make a marker before the match starts. So I think Arshdeep needs to concentrate, and obviously he doesn't need to think too much about that he bowled 5 no balls, or because a good thing for Rahul Dravid and Hardik Pandya, obviously Hardik Pandya did say that no
Yes,
ball
it's a criminal.
crime,
It's a
it's
crime.
a crime. But then, having said that, we should give Arshdeep Singh the favor.
Let's take Arthur and Joydeep's
Absolutely.
comments on that. Arthur, you go first. Hardik's comment about no balls being a crime, and then obviously Rahul Dravid jumped to his defense before we ask the same question of Joydeep. Arthur, thoughts?
I think both were correct in their assessments. No balls in a 2020 match is a bit of a crime, yes. If you bowl so many of them, at the same time, it is also important to back the bowler. This will not happen every day. He will not bowl 5 no balls in a T20 match in every match. So I think both were correct.
Okay. Joydeep?
I agree with Mama completely that it's short of match practice. Number one. Number two is I worked with the great Wasim Akram and Jaidev Unatkar when he first came to KKR. I said this the other day, also had a no ball issue. He said it's simple. Just make sure that wherever your back foot lands goes further back. There's no rocket science to it.
Right.
All this Arshdeep knows, Paras Mamre knows, Rahul Dravid knows. For some reason, when he's pushing his back leg back by about half a yard or so, he's losing his rhythm. Then the ball is not falling in the right place. So he's tried all this. In that level, they also know what is to be done. But sometimes, what happens when you push the run up, I know people who push the run up by this much and their bowling goes awry, like a Dinda, like a Mukesh Kumar. This much run up difference, you either lengthen it or you shorten it. And even the balls fall in wrong areas as absolutely out of sync. So to be able to sorry, just last
Yes,
thing, to be able to keep his potency and yet sort of the noble is the key.
Absolutely, Georgia, and to give an update on both the team playing 11s here. India are playing with the same team, same 11, whereas
So
Sri
good.
Lanka made one
So
change.
good to hear that. So good
And
to
Sri
hear
Lanka
that. So
made
good
one
to hear.
change. Bhanuka Rajapaksha have been dropped in place of Avishka Fernando. So Bhanuka, as we all know, was going through a very, very tough run of form. Avishka Fernando, another dangerous player, comes in place of him. But your thoughts, Georgia? India playing with the same 11?
I'm very happy. It's about continuity. This is a format where the batters are asked to bat at 150, the bowlers are asked to give as least runs as possible, pick up wickets. Then you can't go and tell them make sure that you're very consistent. Consistent Test cricket, then one day cricket, then T20. T20 is where your consistency will be the least. That's why the best teams play 7 batters, 7 bowlers. Because if it's not you, it's him. If it's not you, it's him. And our problem is we play with 5 bowlers. So we don't have anybody to turn to as far as the bowling is concerned. But look at England, look at Australia. Maxwell will pick up to one bowl in the next 5 games. But look at the best teams in the IPL. Chennai Super Kings back in the day. Raina would bowl on a turner, not next bowl in the next 5 games. Look at the options they had. Our bowling options are less. If we have a multi-dimensional team like we're trying to have with the who does, I know he didn't bowl. Ultimately, he will at some point in time. You need 7 guys who can bowl. There are 7 guys who can bat. You need 7 guys who can bowl. Then you're ready as a team.
Sorry. Rahul Tripathi, number 3, thoughts? Same question we got.
Well, good thing, as Jadita mentioned, that it's a good thing to have persisted with this same bunch of balls, because you need a bit of continuity. Remember, Rahul Dravid is someone who doesn't tinker with the playing level. At least you get that consistency there when it comes to Rahul Dravid, because he's never in favor of it having too many chopping and changes. So that's a good thing that Rahul Tripathi gets another match. But the best part is Arshdeep Singh getting another match. That is the biggest positive we can see from this playing 11.
Absolutely. On Rahul Tripathi, I would say he has played in this number 3 role for KKR, for SRH last season in IPL. So he knows this role. And the way he came out and played that ram shot of his second or third delivery, he showed that intent that he wants to score run. Making a debut, attempting that ram shot. It was very high risk shot, but he did show that he has the guts, he has the intensity to play that shot. Joyda is raising his hand. Yes.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, because I feel that when you have 206, the captain will first come and tell the top 4 guys, it's 6 over 75, or no, we're not winning this game. So Rahul didn't have much of a choice. He would have probably done this 10 balls later if the total was 175. Because it was 206, he had to do it right away.
But in IPL
I
also,
would like to ask Joyda, Joyda, would you love to see Surya Kumar Yadav going in at number 3, then Rahul Tripathi at number 4, or you prefer to stick with the same batting order? In this
No,
match?
I would actually want Rahul to bat at 3 because as a beginner, as somebody who's playing his second game, he can utilize the power play. Because Surya is now so good, he actually doesn't need the power play so much. But somebody who's starting off probably can use the power play a little more. Power play is the best time to bat. And let them.
Joydeep, a direct question. Are you okay with Shubman Gill? What about Prithvi Shaw? I mean, a fellow is sitting out, lots of nonsense going around in social media. Are you okay with Shubman Gill? Would you prefer a Prithvi Shaw? Would you give that boy a look in? Your thoughts on this? Because this is quite a debate now in the country.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Prithvi's gone a bit cold. And when you're in the periphery of playing for India, you can't afford to get cold. Look at an Ishwaran, 400s on the trot, 82 not out in the fifth. So I'm saying Ishwaran for test matches. When you're in India A and in that 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 for India team, you cannot be stone cold. And Prithvi, if you see this year in Ranji Trophy and white ball cricket also, he has not been at his best. But I still feel that if you've got Shubman Gill in, I was surprised when Shubman Gill got in because of his strike rate. But once he's in, give him a decent run. But I could go with one or two. If you want to change and play like England or play like Australia, then you would need somebody who can just go and really express themselves. And Shubman has a reputation to protect.
Shaw is your player to express. I mean, when a player is batting at 180, 185, you don't really need consistency. You need him to come and bat for 12, 15 deliveries and score 30, 35 runs.
Yeah, but if you don't score runs in Mushtaq Ali and Vijay Hazare, then how are you going to go and score runs in international cricket? So only when you do well. I would like a Rituraj Gaikwad. He's in form. I always think about this game is about form, Bodhi, I feel. Whoever's in form, make them play. Because when you're out of form, everybody looks pretty bad. It's only when you're in form, play the guys who are in form. And Shubman Gill, even I saw him play for Punjab last year, his strike rate has gotten better. You've given him a run, go with it. But I still feel that, there are other guys also. Like in Ishan Kishan, you've given him freedom. You give him 10 games, and then one day he'll get 170, like he did the double 100 in the one day. That has taken him to another level now. Now everybody's saying, why didn't he play before? But it's only because he got the runs. So I feel Shubman Gill, they've given it. We don't have, Shikhar, we are looking beyond. Okay. Shikhar is also not the slam bang player. Shikhar is also, 10 balls, 17 balls, 28, and at the end he'll go and do it. We don't have a guy who in the first 3 overs has got out in the dressing room for 31 of 10 balls and he's opened up the game. We right now can't find that guy. For me, Prithvi is the guy, but he needs to be in form.
But my real question here is about the template of the Indian team. Like there's so many talk around transition, new captain coming in T20s, but at the same time, there's the same template. I mean, you don't have multi-skilled players in your top order, in your top 5 who can give you a couple of overs with the ball. Yes, there is Deepak Huda, but you don't utilize him. So teams like England, Australia, they have so many, South Africa, they have so many multi-skilled players. I think, do you think India is lacking on that front?
Absolutely, spot on one. Because you need to have multi-talented players at the top order. It helps.
Like a Yashasvi Jaiswal who can bowl a leg spin.
Captain can get flexible. Means if you have a batter who can bowl you those at least 2 overs, that helps the captain because he can try. Because any day, given day,
a bowler can
have a bad day. So therein comes that extra option you have. So that is where the Indian team needs to look, the team management needs to look at, to try and find out someone who can bowl, who can give you that 2 overs. Hardik Pandya, for example, he is your go-to man because he can bowl you that. He's opening the bowling. He bats in the middle order. So what more you want? Because that's the big. But then if you look at the top order in Indian team, one dimension, mostly the batters, because you need someone who can do that 2 overs or 1 over, who can bowl just a couple of overs.
In that New Zealand series, Boryada, I remember Hardik Pandya saying that I need multi-skilled players. I need players who can give you a ball and batting as well. But right now the template is the same.
And even a question. Yeah.
For some reason, our batters have stopped bowling. Now, when Shubman Gill first walked into KKR match in 2018, somebody just said, "Can you bowl?" He said, "Yes, sir. Under 19 India has come from. He's not a star yet. Yes, sir, I bowl off spin." And the way the ball came out of his hand was beautiful. Ahla Sehwag, who had such a beautiful release. I have no idea why he doesn't bowl. I've got no idea. If you ever see him bowl, Mama, you might see him bowl at the net, mucking around somewhere. You'll see how nice his action is. Beautiful. He's not a spinner like a Raina, but he's a proper off spinner. But If I could bowl like that, I would bowl to 5 people in the nets every day. Because as an all-rounder, firstly, your chance of playing for India increases. Secondly, it's boring to field. I'd rather come and bowl 4 overs or 10 overs in a one-day game. And most importantly, when you've gone cold with the bat, it's happened to me. I was an all-rounder. I've gone out for 3. I've gone and bowled 10 overs, 41, 3 wickets. I've gone feeling pretty happy. I contributed to the win. Instead of after my 3, I've got no more contribution except fielding. And since it comes out well, Shubman Gill is one of the most natural cricketers I've seen. When he bats, he bowls, he fields, he takes catches, he throws, he skids. He looks like God made him for this. I have no idea why he doesn't bowl. If he bowls seriously, he'll be a better bowler than Huda. He's got a better action than Huda. He's got a better release than Huda. But Huda is the other side. He's not the most talented, but he's hardworking. And I was talking to some people here in Lucknow where he goes and trains. He said he trains like a madman. He bats for 10 hours a day. He gets his coach over from Baroda. See the success he saw in the first game. This is not God-given. He hasn't just gone to the prayer room and everything has happened. Tremendous hard work. He's a bat for hours and hours and hours. That's the reason why he's...
Deepak give shifts of 6 hours straight in Gurgaon. So that is how Deepak Huda trains.
Yeah, so the coach over there, he brings his own coach, but the facility is owned by Manvinder Bisla, and he's with me here in Lucknow. So he was telling me that he comes there. But he also flies his own coach down from Baroda, looks after him, puts him up in a hotel, and this proper constructive work. See, cricket is a team sport, but it's now becoming an individual sport. We've seen Robin Uttappa traveling with the Praveen Amre when Karnataka were playing here. So there was the team coach who was J. Arun Kumar he's sitting in the lower tier and watching his ward bat.
Pretty interesting. Great insights there. But at the same time, I would like to ask you about Sri Lankan team. The way Kushal Mendis is batting in this series, the way Dasum Shanaka lower down the order is producing some cracking knocks, 2 of the best knocks in this series so far. How do you rate? Can Sri Lanka go all the way and upset India, Joyda?
I think so. I think after the Asia Cup, they've got a lot of belief in themselves. And I also feel the conditions suit them. You know, that till the Asia Cup, nothing was going right for them. You know, that Asia Cup win has given them the belief. And one thing of Mutaya Muralidharan is that he says, we are a small country. We are smaller than most of the states in India. So we cannot compete with the firepower of India. We don't have 45 players. We have 22, 24 players. If you take our A team and a senior team, that's it. We have nobody else. In spite of that, how good are they? They won a World Cup before England did.
You know, this small country argument, according to me, is nonsense. Because Croatia makes it to the World Cup final and wins it. This is a defensive argument. And Sri Lanka is a cricketing powerhouse for the last 25, 30 odd years. Joydeep is right about the Asia Cup thing. I thought they should have won the first game also. Absolutely. They should have won the first game. They lost This series should have been over by now. It's 2-0 Sri Lanka. Good night and thank you, India. But, you know, I think after the second win, they've got momentum. It will take some doing on the part of India to stop the Sri Lanka. And that is why I'm saying, I mean, you know, there was so much on Rahul Dravid. We all know Rahul Dravid's capabilities. But the record as coach is underwhelming. The record as coach has not been to the expectations that all of us thought. So, question to you, is it under 19 different ball game? Senior team different ball game? He's getting caught out? Clearly, this year, Rahul Dravid has to win us a tournament. If he doesn't win us a tournament, what happens to him? We've lost a World Cup. We've lost a Asia Cup. We've lost the World Test Championship. We've lost the South Africa series. We've lost England. So the box is looking pretty bare.
Absolutely, and the high standards that have been set by Ravi Shastri and Virat Kohli. I think we always at the back of the mind we keep comparing with the standards set by those two. But then having said that, obviously a great cricketer cannot be a great coach.
But I still think he's
a great coach. See what he did with NCA.
What I would like to add on here is that obviously Rahul Dravid he's a great test batter.
Mama, what has Virat and Ravi won?
Look at having.
Joyda is asking something.
India should look at having multiple coaches, at least
multiple coaches for different formats.
I would say.
Joydeep, thoughts on Rahul Dravid as coach? A candid opinion, please, not politically correct.
No. I just finished on the Croatia one. I felt what I was basically coming to is that the culture that the country has of being a small country yet producing players. So just to finish on that one, you know. Okay, yeah. So I also feel that I would ideally want somebody who's more closer to the T20 action to be the T20 coach, and Rahul to be the 50 over and 100 and multi-days coach. That'd be ideal. I want somebody like Mahendra Singh Dhoni is available, and Ashish Nehra.
But then you have this BCCI criteria where you have to retire 5 years before applying for the national selection committee or a coaching committee.
Then you get somebody who's played 5 years back and who's been a gun T20 player. We've had a few of those. Get somebody from abroad. If you don't have anybody in India, get somebody from abroad. Get a Mahela Jayawardene.
Certainly,
Get a Kumara Sangakkara.
Yeah.
Overseas coach is another debate.
No. I am all for Indian coaches. I'm all for.
What as the T20 coach, and he's not a big cricketer
for Australia.
No. You ask Gautam Gambhir. You ask Virendra Sehwag. I coach the T20.
Interacted very closely with Gautam Gambhir, and his contribution in World Cup finals and his courage and guts.
Yeah.
I think Gambhir's technical acumen makes him a
for
KKR.
Captain Gautam Gambhir for KKR was arguably one of the best in IPL.
And one of the best things about Gautam is that he's not scared to take the hard calls.
That is the point. Somebody who can get 7 people close to MS Dhoni in Calcutta, and that we still remember that. That guy doesn't sort of shy away from challenges. Having said that, 10 more minutes. So what's happening, Joydeep? Okay, one more question. Hardik Pandya is captain. I like the looks of him because he's calm there. I like when he sort of gives that stare. It's like the Paddington bear giving a hard stare, right? But Hardik Pandya so far, according to me, giving the good vibes as captain. And look at his journey. Never say never. Thoughts?
Yeah, I still feel that he's getting a feel about his captaincy. Like I don't know if he really didn't know that teams that are chasing are not winning the games there, or is it just tongue in cheek? He said that, but all the good captains take every data and then they go with their own heart. The best captains that India has had in the last 20 years, Saurav Ganguly, Rahul, MS Dhoni, they will always go with their gut. You were there in 2002 when he fielded in Headingley, Saurav did, when it was spitting rain and it looked like India will be 110 all out, and Sehwag went caught in the slips, and then Rahul and Bangar. So he batted the whole day, and that's one of the best hundreds I've seen for Rahul. And everybody talks about Rahul and Sachin's 196 and Saurav's 100, but that Sanjay Bangar 64 was as good as it gets. Coming back to your question, I still feel that he's learning his way. He's not a finished product, but I like what I see about him. I love the fact that he's open, he's aggressive, at the same time he's enjoying himself. He doesn't lose his cool. I think he's a future 3-version captain if he plays 3 versions.
I don't think he's going to play Test cricket. So that's
I also don't think so. But if he does,
he does. He's definitely an option for it. Your thoughts on Hardik?
Yeah, absolutely. He's a best bet as far as T20 cricket is concerned, because as Joydeep rightly said that he has a calm head and he's aggressive in his approach. He has a positive intent about him. It's about Hardik Pandya. And what was good thing noticeable about him in the last match was that when Washington was bowling those no balls, he was constantly coming to him, speaking to him, putting his shoulder on the hand on his shoulder. So that is something that you want as a captain, from a captain to encourage you.
Right.
Just to add to that, he's the guy when the heat is on, he says, "I'm the man."
Yeah, absolutely.
He never goes back. He never bats beyond his position. Doesn't go behind. He doesn't say, "Okay, soft times I'll bowl." He said, "Okay, 3 newcomers, I'll start with the new ball." I'm the one. Superb to see.
Absolutely. I mean, there's an argument why Hardik Pandya is giving those stares to his fielders or bowlers, but I think every captain in the past, be it MS Dhoni, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, Rahul Dravid, everyone has given those stares. If you misfield a simple fielding effort, if you misfield in crunch situation, the captain is bound to get irritated. But whatever I have seen of Hardik for Gujarat Titans, for India, I think Gujarat Titans captaincy changed his career, brought his career back on track. This Indian captaincy stint for T20s, I think it's going to evolve not only Hardik the captain, but the Indian team, the way they approach their T20 cricket. It's going to be a roller coaster ride going forward.
Okay, last 5 minutes. I'm going to again put you guys on the spot. We've just had an announcement 1 hour back about the selection committee. Chetan Sharma back as chairman of selectors again. So what happened a month back? What was going on? Chetan Sharma back. No one's questioning. So does that mean Chetan Sharma brought back as chairman, he did not do any wrong? Clearly, the message, if you're getting him back, he and his team did not do much wrong in selection. Otherwise, how would he be back? Joydeep, thoughts?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of know-how of this because it's a very close cauldron that it works in. But if somebody is back, then obviously there was nothing wrong with him. He's one of them who's obviously done that. That's what common sense is, and I feel that obviously they've done their homework. They know what is going on, and they feel he has a lot to contribute to Indian cricket.
Yeah, obviously, BCCI has got as many as 600 applicants, out of which 11 were shortlisted for interview. And when you have, and Chetan Sharma brings in a wealth of experience. If you look at the other 4 selectors who are in that committee, it's Sharath and Subrata Banerjee and Shiv Sundar Das and Srilanka, I think Chetan Sharma stands out because he's a much more experienced guy. And having been part of the previous selection committee, he knows, he has seen, he has watched matches, he has been to first class matches, he has been to international matches, he knows the know-hows as to who are the next stream of players. And that the good thing for Boriada, I would say that what BCCI has done a good thing is that they have shortlisted 20 players for the, keeping in mind the 50 overs World Cup. So these 20 players will be revolved rotated around. So that's the biggest thing to have happened.
But before you say, there's so much talk about selection committee, right? And people are saying, why not other people apply, etc. Hello? Nobody will apply. People earn 3 to 4 crores. Joydeep, for example, earns multiple crores by commentary and from other endorsements and other things. Nobody will apply. The money that a selector gets, you've got to put it into perspective. People who are in commentary, doing India games, doing first class games also, doing endorsements, they've got other things to do. People who are earning in crores, let us be practical. If you have a job which pays you 3.54 crore rupees, will you apply for a job which is less than a crore? You will not. So let us not crib about it. Let us be realistic that we will.
Why don't we give us? We can up the money for the selectors.
That is the point.
On target.
Because then you ask this question: oh, why are not people applying? Don't blame people. Because it is simple. Each one of us asks the question: if I get more money from somewhere else for a job that I enjoy doing, will I do that? The answer is yes.
And it's always a thankless job.
Yeah,
there will be someone who someone may not like him to be picked.
And the fact is, in sport, you will lose many more times than you will be. Right. So if you are a selector, be ready. Like a wicket keeper, you drop a catch, people notice. Umpire make a mistake, people notice. So that is the kind of a job for a selector. So don't crib about it. A lot of talk on social media.
But at the same time,
you don't have to be a big player to be a selector. Look at Trevor Horns.
Correct.
Look at Trevor Horns. He made the Australian team, and when the Australian team were in trouble,
Job. A fantastic job.
So we have seen it's not about somebody who has played 100 test matches needs to be a selector. No. So let us not go for names, as Mama said about names becoming coaches. Same for selectors. We've seen past records. So this thing in social media needs to be addressed.
But at the same time, Boriada, I mean, when you have brought in Chetan Sharma again, now do you question the support staff and the team management? Because
that's what I was alluding to.
Yes.
Because if you are not performing, you brought him back as chairman. So clearly, look, 3 questions from Mahil for the team management. You didn't play Chahal. No. You did not play Chahal when a Shadab Khan and Adil Rashid were sort of taking opponents apart. So that is one question. Your power play was rubbish. Right. Clearly, the intent that was spoken about in India did not happen. So you did not score more than 35 runs. Right. So how do you blame a selection committee chairman for that? Joydeep, thoughts?
Yeah, I think, having been part of cricket management, I feel you select the players and then it's the management. The selectors can put their bid, but ultimately it's always with the team management that's traveling with the team. Even when the selectors travel, they don't have a final say on the 11. They only have their suggestion. And most of the time when the coach asks between A and B, I think I'm going with A. So I might say, no, I think B is also good enough. That's okay. But I can't say play B tomorrow. My job is done with my squad selection. That's it. After that, I'm a mere, advisor. That's all.
Before we wrap up, final question, Joyada, your prediction for the match. Who is taking the series?
No, I think India is taking it. I think they went, like Bodia said, we could have been 2 down, and I agree. But I think, had a really bad day. I have a feeling that today we'll have that much of a lopsided win for India. I'm really looking forward to this.
Devajita.
2-1 series win for India.
India. Bodia.
So let's order. Let's order some food. Let's get ready for a celebration. Kolkata, Notun Good, missing Joydeep. Come back, join us.
Soon.
Quickly, come.
That's it. That's it. We'll be back for our post-match show. So don't forget to join us and don't forget to download our Ref Sports app from the Google Play Store as well. Keep watching Ref Sports. Thank you for joining in.